Great to see MK out there interviewing and talking to some of our mixer partners, it looks like. Sorry, we were getting everybody up here. It's a live show, so sometimes you're just going to have to do it live. But we've got another great segment for you guys today. By the way, I hope you're enjoying this. This is a fully interactive stream as well. You'll see buttons down below us, actually. You can interact and change the lighting, kind of mess with us up on stage. That's the point here at Mixer. So if you are in chat, you know, give me some hype, say some excitement, because we have a great list of guests here. Next, we have some gentlemen here from CD Projekt Red. Welcome up here to the Mixer stage, and specifically, make sure I don't get it right, we have Pavo,
yep.
We have Boris, and we have Bartek.
Bartek,
yes, and I'm very sorry. Definitely try to get the pronunciations just right. And actually, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. What do you do over at CD Projekt Red?
Okay, it's really cool to be here, guys. So, my name is Paweł Sasko. I work in CD Projekt Red as a lead technical quest designer. During Witcher 2 and Witcher 3, I was one of the seniors. And then throughout Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, I led the quest team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boris Muraszkiewicz. I've been with CD Projekt for over 10 years now, actually.
I was going to say, you were talking a little earlier.
Yeah.
It's just not Witcher 3, it's Witcher 3, Witcher 2, it's Witcher 1.
Yeah, the expansions. Now Gwent, of course, the lead writer on the English version for all those titles, and looking forward to future projects.
Nice, it's exciting.
I'm Bartek Ochman. I'm lead open world designer, and together with my team, we've created open world content in Witcher 3. So all these question marks, communities in cities.
So thank you for all the things to do that distract me when I'm on those quest lines. I have your team to probably thank for
Our pleasure.
Oh, wait a minute, she needs my help. Definitely lots of distraction. But you guys, well, first of all, thank you. Our CD Projekt Red fans in here, lots of Witcher 3 fans in here. You guys have made a wonderful game. It's a wonderful series overall, I imagine, and the community feedback has been probably stellar. I mean, it's no secret, The Witcher is a great game.
Oh, I mean, that's amazing to hear that. It was actually a lot of work, you know, and sweat and tears to, you know, put this one together. So we are actually really happy that people think about it like that. And
this one and the expansions, which actually turned out to be almost standalone RPGs, you know.
Yeah.
Competing against standalone RPGs, absolutely new titles on an even footing, I'd say. You know?
Yeah, I would say not many titles can say that their expansion DLC alone, you know, competed in that realm. So, and by the way, thank you from all the fans. You guys didn't monetize the snot out of it. I loved the fan service. Like, that was the one thing I was like, please, every developer out there, get your pens and papers out and take notes. This is how you do fan service. This is how you make a game. This is how you really show love for your fan base. It's very exciting to see that, and I know many people in here might definitely be very excited. So we're not worthy of CD Projekt Red on stage. Grim's up here saying, I love that. Lots of fans up here, but you guys, obviously, you're not done. The universe is still churning along, and you guys, I love how from what I've heard, it was kind of a happy accident here with The Witcher 3, where you put in Gwent. It was an item in the game, but then all of a sudden everyone latched onto it.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you know, with The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2, we had dice poker as sort of the chief minigame. But I think as we had made a huge quality improvement between The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2, we wanted to sort of take a big leap with The Witcher 3 as well, and that meant sort of saying goodbye to dice poker and introducing a new minigame. And we introduced Gwent in The Witcher 3 as the core minigame, and it absolutely took off. The fan reaction was incredible.
I was going to say, did you guys even perceive that would happen like that? I mean, there's always some attachment to the mini games.
Sure, but no. I mean, the broadness and the intensity of the reaction actually bowled us over. It bowled us over to the extent that we started thinking about taking Gwent out of The Witcher 3, taking this mini game out of the RPG, and turning it into a standalone title.
Yeah, it was actually like that. The fans were actually those that were pointing it out to us that, guys, like, actually this would be a really good project to, like, make a standalone thing
like
out of it.
Like a fun pet project, but then the fans started rolling in.
Exactly, and it was like the fan reaction was like so big that at some point everybody was like, I mean, maybe it really actually makes sense, really to pull it off. And then there was a lot of ideas circulating on the web, what to do with this.
Lots of fan theories.
Yeah, exactly. But then, at some point we decided, okay, let's go with it. I mean, maybe because if fans want it, and we feel that actually we can do a better job with it, So, I mean, why not try it, right?
I love that idea that if the fans want it and we feel like we can give it the pedigree that it deserves its time in the sun, why not? And again, I mean, just selfishly shamelessly plug your DLC, your expansion program, and the love that you gave to fans. Like, literally, if anyone was going to do this, I am not surprised that it's CD Projekt Red to say, you know what, guys, let's give you what you want, but let's do it right. So, because you first launched Gwent, like, let's roll back a little bit, and you did a closed beta just to start to get it out there, get the feedback out, and now it's in open beta, correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. It's in open beta, and actually just recently we have announced our single-player campaign.
And this is one I was excited about. So I'm a campaign guy myself, so I'm very excited about this. Sorry to interrupt. I just say very excited. So about the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, so it's called the Thronebreakers.
Yes.
And it introduces actually a lot of new elements to the universe. It ties up with the books, and it's something around 15 hours of gameplay. And there's like one cool tiny detail that I wanted to share is that the amount of dialogue that we actually have in the Thronebreakers is the amount we had in the Hearts of Stone. So actually,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's just bar right there.
Well, you know,
Leave it
it's
to
one
you
of those
guys to
things
be the
that-
madmen and madwomen to make a campaign like that in a card game.
Okay, this is what I'll say. Just as in taking Gwent out of The Witcher 3, an RPG,
Right.
and making it a standalone, we, after having established Gwent as a standalone card game, it was in our DNA to sort of supplement it with a story. So we had a mini game, a card game in an RPG. Now we're going to have an RPG within a standalone card game. And yeah, we're sort of going back to our roots with this.
I love that.
It's in our DNA, I think, to tell stories and to tell non-linear stories with choices and consequences and delayed consequences, and captivating, meaningful characters, and that's what we're doing with Thronebreaker.
I love that. I love the idea.
And we are touching the history from the books, so it's really important for those who read the books and really enjoy the whole universe, because this is a history of the Meve. She was a queen of the Lyria kingdom.
That's right.
And it's about her fight with the Nilbert.
Yeah, I like the idea there that you're making sure you're doing a fan service here as well. I mean, you guys have an army of fans who've read the books, played the games, they know the lore in and out. And I think it's exciting that you're making sure that DNA is woven into things, whether you're making a giant open world game, you're doing an expansion, or, pardon me, but you're making a card game. Like, you're making sure that even though you still apply those fan service in your large games like The Witcher or expansions, you're also applying that same love and care to Gwent. You're not just, okay, here's a card, there, everybody go buy Gwent, yay.
Yeah, it's just something that we always do, right? We try to stay true to ourselves, and it's something that I believe that we can do well. We trained it throughout the years, throughout all those RPGs, and then we kind of know, I think, we can say so, how to put a good story into that kind of a game. And we have a pretty unique format, how to do it inside the card game, actually. So some of the players that saw a bit of the footage, how it looks like, I don't want to say more here, but there's definitely plenty to look for.
Nice, that's very exciting. Now, I'm sure, rolling back, I'm thinking here, when you guys launched that, you did the closed beta first, and then I remember seeing it up on the stages at E3, talking about the beta, talking about Gwent, and then you rolled into open beta. Some of the fan reactions that you guys have read yourselves or been talking about, how important is that when you're thinking about these new features, specifically for Gwent? I mean, because you're still making the game. Like, the game is not done by any means.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, like, reaction of YouTubers and with the streamers is extremely important. Like, we very often talk in the studio, like, the best feedback to get from the gamers is actually to watch streamers and, like, watch people who just play your game with the audience. They watch the comments and they basically tell you what they think about the game, because then you have this, like, first-person perspective feedback, really, something that you will never get. And, like, really, streamers are brutally honest. Like, if there is some bullshit there, like, they will tell you right away.
They will call it out. Chat knows all about that.
Exactly, they will call it right away. So actually, we always look very closely to this, because that's something you will basically know how your game is perceived. looking at the chat, looking at the comments,
Right.
how the YouTuber or how the streamer feels, basically, right? When he
Right. Well,
does
they're
it.
putting on a show and a raw and emotion and
Exactly.
passion there because they're very passionate gamers and they are also they're entertaining their audiences. So they're going to give you the rawest form of feedback. They don't know you're there. They're just going to give that raw form of feedback.
Yeah, I believe that they have actually no idea how much we actually watch those things. It's like
It's a lot of information to parse through, but we actually have people parsing through it and sort of figuring out where we need to go, in terms of the functionalities on specific cards, and it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. A lot of work, a lot of tweaking.
I can imagine here. Now, you guys are here at PAX West, I believe, showing off your game. Kind of share maybe a little bit with the fans at home. What'd you guys bring here to PAX West?
Well, I mean, we arrived to beautiful Seattle to actually take part in the 10th anniversary Witcher panel that happens on Sunday.
That's very important to point out. If you're lucky enough and you're going to come to PAX, maybe you're watching, you guys actually have a panel here.
Exactly. We will be at the panel talking about the history of the Witcher games, and that happens in the main theater at PAX tomorrow at noon. And Boris will be talking about the beginning of the series.
Yeah, it's really going to be a trip down memory lane. I mean, it's a franchise, a game franchise that's 10 years old now, and there's a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about in terms of what went on behind the scenes, some of the heartbreak, some of the joy. Everybody's welcome to come tomorrow at noon and see what we have to show.
Nice. For a little bit
It
of
won't be just three of us. It will be Marcin Przybłowicz with us, our main composer from Witcher 3.
Oh, and a lot of fans about the music, too. I've already saw 3 comments about the music in the game.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Marcin Przybłowicz is the top Spotify artist coming from Poland, actually. So he's a top one. So if you guys want to see him and listen to his thoughts and maybe ask him questions, that's a good opportunity to be there.
We were actually talking right before this that Marcin is a very popular name in Poland. We're going to have Marcin Przybłowicz, the composer, as well as another Marcin Iwiński,
Oh.
Yeah.
one of the co-founders of CD Projekt and a visionary in a lot of senses, creative and in business terms. Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, and he will share a lot of information regarding business or, setting up the company and the history of the company.
And I was going to say, just to marinate on that, 10 years, is that correct, if I heard right? 10 years, I mean, not many IPs have that, they can say that out loud, especially in these days. In 2017, you'd be lucky if you get 6 months, but 10 years for that love and you've been there quite a while, it sounds like, since the beginning.
All 10.
And I have not aging, you look young and skipper,
Exactly.
like you could skip off this stage, but age withstanding, that has to be quite an accomplishment, both from an individual perspective and from a studio pride perspective.
Jesus.
I felt like the weight of 10
No,
years
you
just
put me
went.
a little bit on the spot, but I think what's going to happen is after this, we're going to go have some drinks
Yes.
and take our own trip down memory lane, and that's when I'm going to put that stuff in perspective. That's when I'm going to think about exactly what I want to say about the last 10
Absolutely.
years and figure out, figure out what it actually means to me.
Yeah, and I think that, anything in life, 10 years you spend on something that passionate, that exciting means something. And I think you guys are up here, and this is great, but I think you're not the only people you brought. I think you actually brought 2 more special guests.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, we should probably bring them up on stage.
Oh,
And
yes.
this is a little bit intimidating, but yeah, you can come on in.
Okay, I mean, well, so
And
guys,
who do we have here?
this is our amazing cosplayers, actually. You probably can see them now. It's Yennefer and Geralt.
Oh, wow. I feel very
Together
short.
with us.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
And so, so this is Geralt. Geralt, it's good to meet you. There we go. There we go.
Exactly.
Yennefer.
And
a
if you're
pleasure.
at,
Thank
if you're
you
at
very
PAX,
much.
you can actually take pictures with those 2. They're here. Yeah, I mean, actually putting work into this cosplays, this takes a lot of time, actually. And those cosplays looks truly amazing.
I was gonna say, I know you
actually
can't
love
tell
them.
on camera, but these cosplays actually made out of like cloth, metal, steel, leather. I wouldn't be surprised if those are real swords.
It's not real. It's convention proof.
He tells me it's not real, but just in case, I hope they are. You never know what shows up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a problem at conventions. You have to discuss it with the security staff for ages. I tried, I never did it.
And truth to be told, actually pictures of those cosplayers are in our office, actually in a lot of rooms, because we just love them, especially the one in the bathtub. is our favorite.
Yeah, and I've been to many cons, and you guys definitely show up in big ways to cons. And I love the idea that you guys bring. I mean, it's all about the experience, right? At the end of the day, and bringing people like these to these cons, to these conventions. You know, fans getting to meet their heroes in real life. You know, these cosplays
Actually,
versions
you know,
of
I
them.
can meet my heroes actually.
See, I love that. I love that. But this has been great again. Thank you up here, Pavo, Boris, and
Bartek.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thanks
This
for
is
having
great. I'm very excited about Gwent. I know chat's very excited about, and also the standalone expansion. Holy, excited. Yeah, I don't know what the stream's rated, so I'll save my excitement for later. But this is exciting, and you guys look fantastic. Thank you for joining me on stage. This is wonderful. We still have plenty of content, though, so stay tuned for our next guest, and we got more booth tours here coming right at you.